should be better. Yeah, good morning. It is currently 4:48, and I hope that you all know I love you very much, because I would not be up at this hour without proper coffee intake if I didn't. Game sound is quite low. Well, story of my life. I will turn it up. That should be better. Too low. Can you guys at least hear me? Oh, you can hear a voice. They can start to hear me. No, I'm not far from the mic. Oh, it's a bit. Wait, it's okay. Wow. Let's just marathon test my sound. Is that better? I want to make sure that everything's good for you guys before I actually start up. Messing with the sound is a good way to wake up. Not really. It's a horrible way to wake up. Considering I didn't see anything. No, wait. There's a happy little O throwing up its arms. Okay, I will take that as I'm good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Child of Light. You have voted, and I have answered. I'm going to be doing 100%. I want to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, ahead of time that this is not really 100%, but all quests and confessions. This is the way we define this category, and I'll get more into that while we watch the intro, which I'm actually going to turn down a little bit. Beautiful long load times there.
Child, tuck yourself and let me tell a story.
The definition of this category is all quests and confessions. So we're going to be doing all the mini quests in the game.
Beloved by her father.
And we're going to also be getting all of the confessions, which are little letters that are floating around in the world, and you'll know them when I start picking them up.
Before Easter 1894.
I would tell you how many of each there are, but I'm going to be very honest. I just woke up and I don't remember. So, this is the story of Aurora, our little...
At dawn they found her, vacant, Aurora's light gone out.
Our little shujinko, which is a word I remember in Japanese, but not in English right now. Protagonist, there we go. Our little protagonist is a little girl. She's dead. She woke up. I did not. She thinks she's dreaming. I'm certainly not. I couldn't think of a word that rhymes with not that isn't hot, and that didn't make any sense. It's quite cold. Alright, so Aurora wakes up, or at least she thinks she wakes up, in a dream. This is Lemuria. Lemuria is a very interesting little otherworld. And as I was talking over it, you may not have heard, but Aurora's originally from Austria, so she wants to go back home to her father, who was just recently remarried, and we're going to start the game off by hopping. Later on, we get the ability to fly, but for now, we're just gonna hop. And right now, my hops are worthy enough that I wouldn't reset, except I jumped down there. That's okay. So this game is the love of my life and the bane of my existence. This is my very first speed game. I started speedrunning just as recently as last year. And for those of you who are looking for a small, short, sweet, and simple speedrun, I highly recommend Child of Light. The community is extremely amazing, and not just myself, but the world record holder, Takaze TV, will also help you learn the game. So this is Igniculus. Please excuse my mashing. This is the only thing I have that's better than Takaze. So Igniculus has a lot of things he can do. The first one is, you're going to see here in a moment, is that he can kind of light up and, like, emit light. And the way we use him emitting light outside of battle is in one way. We can use him to do what is called light puzzles. And light puzzles are basically where we're going to, well, they're not really, at this point they're not much puzzles for me, but it's okay. So we're going to take him and light up these little pictures on the tree. And this is in one way that we can use Igniculus outside of battle. So right now, Igniculus and Aurora are looking for the Lady of the Forest. And we just so happen to find a sword and a rock. And we're going to use it to fight an awful, horrible cricket. If any luck, this cricket will be Jim. It is not Jim. So the next way Igniculus can be used specifically in battle is, he can slow down an enemy, as you saw that I did. And you may notice that this battle system is very much like Grandia. I can interrupt enemies that are on the cast bar of the ATB bar and prevent them from having their turn. I can also get interrupted while I am on the cast bar and get prevented my turn. And Igniculus can help me control this with his shining. So here at the start I'm going to take exactly 3 battles. I'm not going to take any more, except for required battles. Also, I'd like to point out that drops are very random, and I lose frames by getting them. So the next way, you may have noticed that Igniculus can come in handy here, is that he can blind an enemy so that I can walk right past it without having to battle it. And this is one of the things that really helps us in this game. We don't want to have to fight a lot of things. If you've played this game before, you probably know that a lot of enemies are actually kind of difficult to beat. Especially in normal battles. It's really quite interesting how difficult some of the normal battles are. And any battle that has more than 2 monsters at a time can be very treacherous. So I don't want to fight any battle that I don't have to after this point. And everything we're going to fight, aside from 3 battles with 3 ugly spiders, is going to be a boss. So this is our first scenario break. This is a little puzzle, a little platforming section, where you're supposed to take that box up there on the left side, upper left side, and push it all the way to the bottom right. You jump on it to jump over a platform, and then jump on another box, jump up onto another platform. Oh my goodness. My fingers are not cooperating here. And then you pull a switch to open the door. I am hopefully going to get this on the first try. And not push the box off. Okay. Very nice. And I just ignore intended game progression and jump right over the space that shouldn't be able to be cleared, with the with the physics of Aurora getting a small momentum boost whenever she jumps. Oh dear. Okay, well, I wanted to grab that, but I didn't jump up high enough. There's a little item up there that I want, but I will have to get it here in a second. So coming up is our first boss. And to start up the first boss, I need to do this little puzzle here. The puzzle is, as always, most puzzles are, a light puzzle. And I need to light up these 3 colored torches. And, of course, for no reason at all, I'll leave this on purple. And fight 2 ugly statues. What I want to see is not ambrosia, which is when the back statue heals. I also don't want to see gather strength on the first turn from the other statue here in the front. So far, so good. Never mind. He had the perfect ATB that I couldn't. Alright, but this is okay. He gathered strength. I wasn't sure what he was going to do. But that's okay, because now I'm just going to beat him up with my sword. It might feel kind of silly to beat up a statue with a sword, and I would be inclined to agree with you. But trust in Aurora, she's 10 years old and she knows how to use this sword. She's only had it for 10 minutes. Also, I'm not sure why my timer is red. Shouldn't be. And that was our first battle. Next up, we're going to have a little cutscene that we're going to skip. We're going to skip it. Oh. Well, that's why. It actually is my splits. Except they are not.
Once the sun shone up.
Okay. I'm getting distracted by my splits being red. And I should be running a game. Alright. So we're going to skip this cutscene. I'm going to spam through some text. And then we're going to skip yet another cutscene. Here, once the game loads. So... Right now, we're learning about why the world of Lemuria is so dark, and why there are monsters running around. We're also learning that in order to get home, we need to get the sun, the moon, and the stars to get us home. Well, Aurora, of course, being 10 years old and pretty smart, is outraged. How are we going to get the sun, the moon, and the stars? We're 10 years old, we can't reach the sky. That's silly.
And so Aurora wandered, the twilight forest far from home, starlight only to guide her. Except
good luck on sleeping, Yagamoth. I don't know why I said good luck, but that's okay.
A family who could not trace her,
Thank you very much
searching for the sun and moon,
for the good luck.
father to embrace her.
Sleep well, sir.
And somewhere in the
So,
night, perched upon a throne in the
now I have
a usurper to snuff out Aurora's spark.
a firefly and a flute, and, come on, and a jester. This is our first addition to the party. This is Rubella. She is a jester. And you see up there that I have Rubella's Plight has entered my inventory. That is Rubella's quest. I will be, hopefully, finding her brother. So now that we have the stars, you see that we can fly. And the rest of the game, we are going to be flying. I can use the spacebar to have a little speed boost, and I'm just going to fly past everything and all things. I don't want to fight any battles, that'd be silly. I also need to remember not to use my Stardusts. I will explain Stardust to you later. But I need to remember not to use them. Don't use them, I said. This is the next boss. This is an ogre or something. We're gonna beat him up. So, from here on out, all of the bosses will have friends with them, and unfortunately, whenever there is more than one friend in a battle, it becomes increasingly dangerous. I knew that was going to happen, but... Okay, now that we have less friends in the battle, we're just going to beat up on this golem thing. I want very much not to run out of my light meter. So I'm just going to keep attempting to interrupt this golem. And, golem? Not golem. Giant. Whatever he is. And, the very nice thing is that even if, for example, Aurora dies, you see that I'm not going to take any precautions to try and heal her. Even if Aurora dies, she is going to come back to life at the end of the battle, so I don't need to worry about her being dead in this battle. I'm going to fly up here and get the next confession. Fly back down. I'm not going to dash fly down. If you dash fly down, it is... well, not really faster. Where am I going? I'm going to also fly the wrong way twice. Or at least think I'm flying the wrong way once, and then fly the wrong way once. This is another confession right here. And I have completely lost my train of thought. I was saying something, but that's okay. Next up, we're going to get our next party member. We're going to get Finn, who is a cowardly magician. And Finn, along with Aurora and 2 others, is one of our MPVs of this run. Finn's certainly more than others. Finn wants us to help break the curse on the people in his village. Everybody has been turned into a bird. Of course, we're going to agree to help him. We're nice people, and then we're going to teleport away from where he wants us to go, which is inside that well that I just entered. And I'm just gonna, you know, load the game up after closing it. And just teleport back to that village. And what this does is abuses the autosave function in such a way that Finn has joined our party, but we've teleported away from the area he wanted us to be in. Come on. Nice! So Finn is in our party, but we've not actually done his quest yet. We will come back and do his quest later. Right now, the quest for Finn is a little bit too difficult for the party members that we have.
Through gloomy meadows, down to a dusty plain, searching high and
Actually, DM John, the Rockman is DLC. He's not actually in the official game. And if not for the fact that the DLC, every last single DLC has additional items, I would probably be playing with my hero's favorite dress right now, but I'm not. My hero being Puexel, for those of you who do not know me. So this is our next party member. We just get a couple party members here in succession. It feels like a lot, but it's not actually. Normally you would have cleared... Oh, there's my other hero. It's Tikaze. Normally you would have cleared the well and had a little bit of time in between getting Nora, but we're... Whoa, my goodness. We're not doing that. Come on. Oh, I meant to get that, but that's okay. That's probably the cleanest entrance I've had into this cave in a long time. So, everything I'm doing that seems kind of out of the way is because we're playing 100%. Also, shoutouts to walking through the door through the wall. So, here I'm going to be picking up a little jewel here. And what the heck? Oh, okay. Sure. I will take that. That's the rare emerald that I really, really want, but am very, very surprised to see. The rock golem guy is pretty good. I mean, I won't lie. But doing the speedrun and playing with him, I found that I preferred some of the some of the characters in the later game much more. So we're in a town with rats now. I don't even know what split I'm on. I wish I didn't have my splits open with actual splits, but just a timer. That's okay. So, we're in a village with rats, and we want to find a way to get up to this temple in the sky, but we can't fly that high because the wind is too strong. So while we're in the town, we've asked for help, and we run into a merchant. All of the rats are merchants, really. Merchants and traders. We run into a rat who says that he can help us if we help him. So he takes us to this mountain, who you might have seen walking in the background at the very beginning of the game. And he wants us to help, he wants us to help him. I did very much like the Golem's character. So we're going to pick up some chests in here that are going to prove very important. I'm also going to run into some lava twice. For no reason at all. Thrice. Except for that I like catching Aurora on fire. Yep, casual gaming things. So we see that Magna, the mountain's heart, is completely covered in cobwebs. That's bad. We're going to try and save her. Don't use... Don't use the thing. I would like to point out that these battles are relatively simple in any percent, but because of a glitch that I'm going to use later on in the game, they're a little bit slower than I would really prefer. So what I'm going to try and do here is keep these spiders from even getting off an attack. Who's in the front? And by doing that, going to be significantly saving myself some rough times. Rubber got slowed, but that's okay. They should be dead. I hope. Or not. Okay, now they're dead. That was probably the best battle I've had with these spiders in 100%, which is nice. So, we've killed those spiders. And, we're gonna go fight some more. As you can see, only a portion of the cobwebs is gone. And there are quite a bit left, so I want to help Magna. I want to help Magna because Magna's gonna help me, right? Right. And Robert said he would help me if I helped Magna. That's exactly what Robert wants help with, right? Right? So, the strategy that I take with these spiders is usually that I'm going to slow them and then I'm going to beat them up. I mean, that sounds like a great strategy to take with spiders, right? However, when Robert starts first, it's a little dangerous to slow them. So I'm going to use a skill on Robert that is going to make it so that he does not get interrupted when he gets hit on the casting bar line. Also, shoutouts to Robert, giving me lots of nice crits. Robert actually has a very high crit rate, and I would love to see crits in the first battle. Well, that's one more set of cobwebs. Very nice. Now we can go on our journey to... Ow. Run into more fireballs. Clearly, this is what our journey is about. Running into fireballs. I want to pick this up, but I know it's not going to be anything I want. So here, we fly down and we find out that Robert actually wants us to open up a vault so that he can get a girlfriend. This vault has been closed by the Dark Queen, the Queen of Shadows or whatever, the Queen of the Dark, right? And Robert wants us to help him open this. AKA, he wants us to open it and for us to say that he opened it so that he can get a girlfriend. We're 10 years old and we want to go back home to our father. If this means that we can get Robert to help us convince the mountain to take us up past the wind to where the next piece of our puzzle to get home is, then of course we're going to agree. And Aurora is a kind, gentle girl in this category. Come on. And she wants to help Robert get his girlfriend. So we've gotten inside. Robert is pleased. He joins our party again. We've completed his quest, Robert's Plight. And I'm going to pick up this stuff here and get absolutely nothing I really wanted. Oh, I meant to do something, but I didn't do it. That's okay. That's exactly how getting girlfriends works. You know, you tell a girl, "Hey, baby, I've got money," and she fawns all over you. That's exactly how getting a girlfriend works. In no universe ever. I can already tell that even if I slowed this guy, I wouldn't have interrupted him. Better to just let him get a turn off. They should be dead. We're going to fly up here. We have successfully gotten all the cobwebs off of this even bigger spider, and we're going to defeat it. Aurora, being the kind, gentle girl she is, wants to help anyone she can. She's never a jerk in this category. on. Okay. And next I'm going to craft some things. I'm going to make a thing called a tourmaline, and that's going to increase my magic stat. Is there RNG in this run? Oh boy, DM John, is there ever? With any luck, we won't see any. Don't do that. So I'm going to start off this battle by beating up spiders, and getting beaten up by spiders, slowing down spiders, slowing them down even more, and then switching into our Jester character, who we've only used once so far, and beating up the spiders. Nice crit. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Finn, who I'm going to have buff himself while this other lady kills this last spider. So I want to be very, very careful not to interrupt this spider here. If I interrupt this spider, it's going... Yeah, it's a big spider. If I interrupt this spider, it's going to buff itself, and it's going to be very, very fast, and then I'm going to interrupt it more, and, well, quite honestly, interrupting the spider even more is kind of silly. I don't want to interrupt the spider at all. So sometimes I'm going to let the spider take turns, like right now. Yet again, I'm going to hope that... Okay, yes, very nice. I gathered strength, meaning the next turn that the spider is going to take is going to be an AoE attack, but that's okay. Because the next attack is going to be an AoE, I'm going to dodge, or I'm going to defend. If I didn't, he would just interrupt Finn anyway, and that's not amusing. I'm going to interrupt the spider. Might as well just let it happen. Oh, or not. I'm going to kill the spider. Yay! The spider is dead. Okay, and here I'm going to spam the menu button. It's not where I wanted to teleport to, but that's okay. And I'm going to teleport away. I'm going to teleport away back to the village where I found Finn, and I'm going to go back into the well. My alarm is going off. I thought I turned that off. So now that I'm a little bit stronger, I've beaten up a spider. I think I can take on a three-headed snake. So, I'm sure that part of the reason Finn was never ever going to be able to break the curse on his village alone was because he needed a firefly. Never mind the fact that he's a huge coward. To be fair, Finn is only 13, despite that big beard he has. So, I'm going to beat up a big spider. not a spider. I meant to say... snake. I get crits on that. Very nice. I'm just going to sit here and hope that, well, I don't get interrupted. But these monsters have a very, very good knack of interrupting the person who's casting. And only the person who's casting. Very nice. Holy critical hits. If that's not the best battle I've seen on this... My monkey's an uncle. Wait, what? My uncle's a monkey? So, this is the first part where we kind of figure out what's going on in the story. Finn is able to purify this well. And in the basin, he tells Aurora that she can see her heart's desire. She desires the sun, the moon, and the stars, right? As it turns out, Aurora's father has collapsed physically from heartbreak. He is so sad that he has fallen ill. And Aurora, seeing this, is just shocked. And of course, very sad. And I'm going to take this moment of a cutscene to turn off my alarm. I'm back. So, Aurora is so sad that she just starts playing her flute. She doesn't know what else to do. And the people in the village just think that sounds so lovely. As it turns out, Aurora is one of the distant relatives of Will from Illusion of Gaia. She can play her flute to bewitch people, and Will can play his flute to light people on fire. So now that we've rescued the Capelli, this man wants us to turn an apple into gold. Well, that's silly, but we'll do it. So I take this man's apple. I'm gonna go over here. And as it turns out, there's a very hungry man in here with a shovel. So this is a straw protocrawl. Wow. Protocrawl. Protocol type quest. A little trading quest where we trade one thing for another. And we eventually get what we want. Right? Right. So I have the shovel, and I'm going to take it up here. Back to where we fought the first boss. Except not quite. And you'll see that a man, I don't know if he's young. Well, considering Finn looks very similar, he might be. But we find a man who needs a shovel to bury ours. And he gives us a lantern. And now we're going to go back over here. And we're going to kill yet more spiders. I hope that you all like spiders, because this game sure does. Goodness gracious. Very nice. Okay. So, we have more spiders in this pig thing, and we're going to defeat them by way of not getting interrupted. That sounds like a great way to defeat things. Everything should die with a single lightning, or a single all-target lightning and AoE tumble. Sometimes these guys need an extra hit. Like now. I'm going to go ahead and cast lightning again. It's faster than waiting for Finn to defend. Such many murder, yes indeed. So now that we've cleared this quest, Finn's grandfather comes back. He hates the village of the Capelli. Well, I'm not sure why. Probably because he's a grouch. And even though he's a big jerk, he gives us something for our trouble. He gives us 4 tourmaline, and I'm going to go ahead and use those. And give them to Finn and Aurora. And now we're going to come back to this village of the words. Hello. Don't just run into rocks here. Of the bow rats, and I'm going to pick up something that I meant to pick up earlier and forgot about. So we found Achilles. It was only mentioned very briefly that we're looking for a flying pig, but we have him now. And we're running into stuff that kind of hurts. But now that we have our flying pig, we are going to go and trade our lantern for gold. So down here, we can find a dark, dark cavern that is so very hard to see in. And we're going to go the wrong way. This is almost like doing a dark room. Except not quite. Because we have a firefly who can light up our way. And we've finally traded our apple for gold. We've traded it for a shovel, which we traded for a lantern, which we traded into gold. And the rat is very happy to give us a piece of gold. Because we have successfully made it so that his endeavors to mine gold are renewed because he has light. And I guess we can assume that he had light before, but it disappeared because Umbra, the Queen of the Dark, took all the light. Finally, in our little bunch of quests here, we're going to go down into this basement and beat some more stuff up. Never sure what the good strategy for this is. I just hit stuff and hope it dies fast. I'm sure that Takaze has a very, very, very clever strategy for this, or he may not. And in this particular scene, we'll see that Nora, Aurora's sister, is going to insult literally everybody. Yeah, that can happen, unfortunately. Monsoon does a little bit more damage to these flying fire wraiths, whatever the heck they are. So, of course, I'm going to use those instead when I can. Those being the monsoons. You may question yourself, why is Nora going so far out of her way to insult everybody? That's just silly. You know, Aurora is such a good girl, and Nora is just being a jerk to everyone. It must be very clear to her that Aurora is just going to be very upset when she leaves her friends behind, so she needs to be mean to Aurora's friends so that they don't like Aurora anymore, so that when Aurora and Nora go home, it'll be okay. And Aurora won't feel so upset that she's leaving all of her friends behind. Right? That clearly must be it. Nora, of course, being Aurora's big sister, has Aurora's best interests at heart. And of course, the way I'm talking about this is not trying to lead you otherwise. Nora would never do something bad to her sister, ever. She's a very good sister. Going to run into some spikes, of course. Nope. Yes, grill logic. Perfect. Yeah. Ow. Ow! This is why you... Okay, so. Now that we've finally cleared out the basement, we tell this man that he deserves... that we deserve a reward. Because he definitely did not tell us that we were going to be killing out monsters. He just wanted us to clean his basement. He said nothing about monsters. So now that we've finally gotten everything done here, we're gonna go up and we're going to finally go up past the winds in the sky to get the next piece of our little puzzles. So you may recall that we're looking for the sun, the moon, and the stars. DM John, she means purposely typoing girl to say grill. And I'm going to fight one of the hardest bosses in the whole game, except it's not going to be hard because I'm going to use a glitch to make myself really quite strong. So you may be saying, but Kay, how are you going to do that? I'm going to use these Stardusts. Stardusts are items that enhance your stats. And of course, I'm not going to do it just once. I'm going to do it several times. So, it may blow your mind that I can run from a boss, and it certainly blows my mind. But whenever I run from a boss, something weird with the autosave function makes it so that I have all of those Stardusts I just used back. So here I'm only going to do this twice. Also, I have learned through rough experience that if you accidentally use a stack of Stardusts and you run from the boss, none of the other Stardusts come back. No harm done, John. Yes, very handy indeed. So, I'm going to continue to use this glitch to make the rest of this category very easy. You may have been thinking, well, GK, this is quite spooky and everything is rather quite strong. Well, not anymore. So next, I'm going to be literally destroying everything. That is one of the best things of this category, I think, is that the beginning is really quite difficult. And then the rest of the game is really quite not difficult. Indeed, breaking the game, that is exactly what this could be called. I'm going to go ahead and let Griffin get his attack off here. I do not want to interrupt Griffin. As you may have seen, if I interrupt Griffin, he slows me, and that's just kind of annoying. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and... don't do it. Okay. Fortunately, he attacked Robert. He, she, it, whatever. It attacked Robert. And now, I'm going to beat up the boss. I'm going to give Robert a damage elixir. I'm just going to have him wail down on the boss. And of course, Robert is going to get a critical hit, because that's what Robert does. And that was the best looking Griffin I've ever seen. But Griffin dead is always a good-looking griffin. So now we've defeated the jerkbird. Very quite simply. Thank you to the difficult task of fighting a boss and running away and somehow getting more stat-enhancing drugs. Now we know that Aurora's father is not only sick with grief, but there is a flood that's happening, and Aurora is just absolutely horrified. Her father is dying, the village that she grew up in is in danger. It's time to leave our friends and go home. So we abandon all of our friends who we've helped so much until now, and we're going to just fly up here, get this confession. Come on, get the confession, and then go into the door. We're going home. This is the end of the game. This is it. This is the end. We're gonna go home. Everything's gonna be fine. We'll have a happy ending. Nora, where are we? Follow me. Okay, well, this must be like a bridge, and there's gonna be another mirror back home. Right. Okay, so we're gonna go back home, and hey, it's our stepmother and stepfather. Wait, what? No, not stepfather. Stepmother and stepsisters. Holy moly. Our father is at home. And they're going to bring us home. That's right. They're going to bring us... What's going on? What is this sudden and inevitable betrayal? As it turns out, our stepsister, Nora, is evil. She's the evil queen's daughter. And she's just going to, well, cause us heartbreak. So, we get attacked by our stepmother. Our stepsisters, we have two, are quite siding with their mother. And we have no idea what to do next. So we have a dream about being queen. And sending them from our castle unseen. Good morning, Natara. And hello? Hello? Oh my goodness. I'm going to stand there trying to move when I can't move for some reason. And then we have a dream about our mother. We have a dream about our mother, and something is wrong with our mother. It turns out that this is the dream when our mother dies. Or this is a dream about when our mother dies. If mortal harm befall her, bring her to your altar. Well, it seems that our mother cast a spell that brought us to Lemuria if we were ever in mortal harm. So we play our flute again, in just the sadness. Apparently this is one of the things that they didn't take away when throwing us in prison. And the guard who threw us in here, he knows that song. And he's very touched to hear it, and he wants to help us. So, we're going to get the guard and pick up potions if I ever can fly straight. And then we're gonna find our friends. All of our friends are in cages. As it turns out, the Queen of the Dark kidnapped, well, I guess captured. It's not really kidnapping, except for maybe in Finn's case. Finn is only 13. The Queen of the Night captured our friends. She's holding them hostage, and us as well. Which I guess she's not really holding us hostage. No one's going to save us except for ourselves. And we're locked in. Of course, looking at this bunch of gears, we can clearly deal with this. We have a firefly, and that's how you deal with shiny gem things. Come on. There we go. So now we're going to go down here, and we're going to find out that Oangus is also in peril. He wants to help us, but he needs us to save his friends, his tribe. So we're going to do that. In any percent, we don't do that. We don't save people in any percent. So now we have to go through this maze. And I'm, of course, going to go the right way all the time. And run into a battle I did not mean to get into. Of course. It's always very simple to run away from battles. There's never any difficulty in this. And this puzzle, this maze, stays the same every time. So now we've found Oangus's tribe. And they call him a traitor and tell him to get out. They're proud people, and they would rather, you know, rot in prison than side with the Queen of the Dark. And Aurora, of course, knowing exactly how to calm everybody down, plays her flute. Oangus, of course, upon hearing this, is like, wow, well, I really like that sound, and I'm going to join your party, for real, and we're going to do the thing. And everybody's going to like me again. So we finished up Oangus's quest. I'm going to fly up here and get this before doing that thing we did with the Stardusts all over again. You're here to give me a hard time about something. Are you gonna quote me again? So we're gonna do this a couple times. Or not. How do I always manage to do this? I Things I shall never know. Well, it's okay. Wrong way. Okay. Well, now that I am thoroughly perplexed at what to do about this, we're just going to go ahead and fight Cordelia. So sometimes this doesn't work. Yes, very much so. Sometimes the glitch just decides not to work. Oengus should be like an overgrown powerhouse right now, and he's not going to be. So every time I run this game, it is a constant fight between me and the game, trying to figure out how I can get the thing to do what it's supposed to do all the time, instead of some of the time. So, Cordelia is one of the monsters I don't ever want to interrupt. Ever. 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 And, ooh, goodness. And the reason being is that she will heal if I interrupt her. And, of course, I don't want her to heal. That's bad. I'm trying to kill her. Not interrupt her so that she can heal herself to death. So you may notice that everything is hitting Oengus, and only Oengus. Oengus has a very, very nice skill in which he can taunt the enemies, and they will only attack him. Very nice critical hit from Robert. Rude. You may notice that I'm trying to speed Oengus up so that he can do more damage to the boss. Unfortunately, the boss does not want Oengus to do more damage to her. Which is silly. Why wouldn't she want to be beaten up? So, we've beaten up one of our stepsisters, and she is holding on to the moon. When Aurora gets the moon, suddenly she turns into a teenager. So now that we have the moon, we just need the sun. And we're going to follow the road, basically. It's a rather linear world map, so we can't really go anywhere else. And, of course, you know, looking for the sun. We're very confused. Where is it? It's clearly not in this rainy, dreadful place. You may see that there's a quest there. I can actually complete that quest without picking it up. So I'm not actually going to pick up the quest, I'm just going to complete it. So in trying to find the sun, we run into a village with a little girl and an old man. And as it turns out, this village has been plagued by an ogre. So we are going to help them, of course. I did want some... Oh wait, I need to go up. Every time. I always forget to get this. But not today. We're not going to forget that particular confession today. So here, we're going to do some more puzzles. The 5 is going to be kind to me today. Sometimes this 5 can just fall into a place that it is so weird. And then we're going to do some menus and fight the next boss. The next boss, of course, is the ogre that has been torturing these people. So, when we come to rescue all of the people, it turns out that they've all been beat, and... well, that's not nice. I was going to... Very nice! I was going to try and use the potion on Finn, but I knew that he wouldn't get it off, or that he would get it off before Finn actually came out. Oh, so I can use a potion on a certain slot, and it will always use it on the character who is there at the time that the item goes off. Once finished casting the item. Rude. Rude. I do not have Tauntaun, so of course I got slightly unlucky when I wanted to taunt. Finn is dead, but that's okay. Because the ogre is dead too. So we have a short discussion with Gniculus about going to tell Gen that everybody from her village is dead. And for now, we're just going to ignore that fact and come down here into this underwater cavern. And we are now in the lowest of the low. And we're going to pick up a quest from this elemental. He's tired, and he's old. He wants to go home. So he asks us to request the help of some other elementals. Just like Igniculus. So we're going to go ahead and go around the world before we get too much further into the game. And find these elementals. I have plenty of potent healing tonics right now, so I don't need to pick up any more. There's a chest I can pick up, mostly for safety. But I've been picking up safety chests the whole time. So fortunately, I have enough safety. And we've finally run into another basin. Thank goodness. And we find out that our father is indeed dying. He is so sick with grief that he is dying. And this is that quest I said that I would complete, but not actually get. So, I have a lot of items that I can use. Yeah, well, I was hoping I could do that, but I can't. Well, I can. Never mind. Let's do that then. I'm going to make a brilliant tourmaline for Finn. And be sad that I don't have anything for Robert, but that's okay. Menu. And be sad that, my attempt to... that my attempt to dupe the Stardust did not work. So of course I'm not going to be as fast as I could be. And then come fight this boss. This is Leviathan Sahagin, and he doesn't actually have a name, so I always call him Leviathan because that's what I got used to calling him, and Takaze calls him Sahagin because he likes the name better. And we always err on the side of the world record holder. So, this is Sahagin. I still call him Leviathan because I always forget. And we're going to just beat up everything here. Unlike all of the other bosses, whoa, holy critical hits. Unlike all of the other bosses, this one does not have a interruption counter, so we're just gonna beat him up. And of course we're gonna bring out Aurora, and we're going to make Finn stronger. And get critical hits, but not win stronger, of course. And at this point in the game, I feel like Finn should actually be doing a lot more damage than he is, but that's okay, because we're still just going to completely destroy the boss. And we're gonna fly up here. And open up the gate. So you may be thinking, but Kay, isn't this like the last area, and we still need to do a lot of quests. There have to be more quests, so we just got one. We need to go talk to that little girl and tell her her family is dead. We will. I'm going to go ahead and open up this next area, primarily because if I have Gen in my party when I come back through here, or when I come through here at all, she talks to me about this gate. And to be honest, I don't care. So I want to skip that dialogue by opening up the teleport point to the next area and enabling it so that I can get Gen, complete the quests, and then teleport straight to the next area. So for now, we're going to run around this the map, trying to find all of these fireflies. Also, I'm going to turn in this quest that I forgot to turn in with the flying pig. This makes more sense that I turn it in now, since I'm on my way over here anyway. It, of course, would have been nice to have the extra HP earlier, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, at the beginning of the game, I feel like Rubella was saying something about having a brother in a circus that she wanted to find. I wonder if she's forgotten about that. Well, obviously she's forgotten about it, so we can forget about it, right? Oops, wrong way. So we're just gonna fly down here. This is where we fought Griffin. But Griffin is gone. So we're just going to fly over here and hey! Look! It's the circus! And we find this very, very sad jester who looks exactly like Rubella. Well, gee, we found Rubella's brother. And he joins us, so we complete Rubella's quest. We're also going to pick up this confession right here. We're flying over here to get our next firefly. And then the final firefly, oh my goodness, final firefly, we will find back in the Piscean village. And of course, on our way, we should probably tell Gen that her family got eaten by the ogre, and she's never gonna see them again. That might be nice to tell her that. Just, you know, so that she knows. Aurora doesn't know what to say, so she asks if she can play her flute. And if you've noticed, Aurora likes to play her flute when she's sad. Or when sad things happen. And Gen realizes that something is wrong. And Gen joins our party. She is just enraged that the Dark Queen would do something like this, and we need to stop her. So again, being a young girl, but no less competent, joins our band, and we get the finally Firefly. And now that we have all the fireflies, we are going to go back to the elemental. And then we see the elementals join together their little powers and go back to the world of the elementals, wherever that is. And Igniculus, of course, chooses to stay with us, and I'm not sure what we would do without him, because I don't think we could beat the rest of the game without him. But, you know, thanks, Igniculus. So I'm going to go ahead and give her this. And I'm going to give this to Oingus. And I'm going to teleport back to the Palace of the Sun. Like I said, if I traverse this area and then end up at the gate to the Palace of the Sun, Gen's going to tell me stuff about the Palace of the Sun, or the gate, and the puzzle and stuff. And, well, I already know how to beat the puzzle, so, you know. In fact, we've already beaten the puzzle, so she'll be telling us something that we would have already known, canonically. Ow. And, we don't want to run into stuff. Running into spiky barbs hurts, so I highly recommend that you avoid that. And, while I meant to brush up on all of my terrible puns, I did not get to. So this is our sister, Nora. If you remember, her real name is Nox, and her gas is a bit noxious. Sorry. Not sorry at all. I hope that Takaze is here grimacing for me. I want to be very careful not to let this bird try and swoop me. If he touches me while he's in mid-swoop, I will get into an ambush battle, and that bird hurts. RPG jerk bird is that bird right there. And he and Demon Chocobo are probably the best of friends, and also that hurts. That's not who I wanted to use it on. That's also not who I wanted to use it on. It's very hard to menu in this category, because I end up with way more people in my party than I'm used to. I'm going to give this to you. And I can finally make you this, which is very nice. I want you to have that. Here you are. And then we're going to go fight our sister. Note to self, Cape Hunter Red, yep. So our sister, Nox the Noxious, is very allergic to lightning. So I'm going to go ahead and do my kind of regular thing where I get unlucky and she doesn't gather strength on the first turn. I slow her down and I beat her up. Getting crits is always nice. Gather strength is also very nice. that was going to crit, I would have brought out thing, but that's okay. I need to get Aurora. And now we're going to shoot lightning at our stepsister. And this is what you get, stepsister, for being a jerk to me. That'll show you. Of course, unfortunately, I'm not getting any crits, which would be really nice right now. I'm also very glad she died just now, because I just realized that Finn only has 3 MP, and that's bad. Our sister is dead. Umbra appears to say that she's very, very unpleased. And the sun appears. You belligerent, bellicose brat. Fortunate you are. I am merciful stepdaughter. And she offers to let us go home to our father. Of course, we tell our father, I'm sorry. I can't possibly let the Lemurians die. With the death of our father, the crown that we have been given from our father, that has protected us all of the whole game from Umbra's attacks, disappears. We get the sun, and swear that we will set the people of Lemuria free. But we're dead. Darn it. Well, this is the end. Clearly, there's nothing else we can do now. We are dead. No one can save us. We're just going to float in the ocean until Umbra finds us. And hey, it's a Guniculus. And I'm going to take this long cutscene to stretch my legs, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Freak Van Ark, if you mean me, yes, I am the one who ran randomizer with Nikki Noel. So, we find out that the Lady of the Forest is actually our mother, and she can play the flute too. So she plays the flute to tell everybody that something terribly sad has happened, I'm assuming. And I'm going to take this moment to kind of explain the next boss. The next boss has 2 birds that hangs out with her, and they are the biggest of jerk birds. So I would appreciate everybody if you could pray for no prey. And if you have it, Takaze prays work too. I literally had the #1 worst luck that I've ever had for this game ever for the last boss last night. Not last night, yesterday rather. Yesterday afternoon when I was practicing. So the prey attack that these birds can do pushes me back on the ATB bar, and it's nothing really to be sneezed at. And to consider, too, that I have not been able to get the proper amount of dupes off on my characters for increasing their stats, I'm a little bit weaker than I would want to be in this category. Fortunately, I'm still much stronger than I would be in any percent. Royal Blue, it's almost as if you were waiting for the magic cutscene prompt to pop up. So we fly up into the sky, omitting any thoughts of final dungeons, and we're going to fight Umbra. And Umbra, much like her daughters, can transform into a giant dragon. And at the same time, she admits to poisoning us in the other world. And that's why we died. We died of poison. So I'm going to get out Oangus, and I'm going to taunt. And then I'm going to get out Robert. And I'm going to use an unstoppable all elixir. Cutting talents, that's nice. One prey is not terribly horrible. And then I'm going to slow everything down. And once everything is slowed down, I'm going to bring out Aurora, and she's going to make Oangus strong. And Oangus is going to beat everything up. Just to make sure that the birds aren't going to be a nuisance to me, I'm going to slow them down again. Oangus, of course, is going to be an absolute beast and destroy them on the next turn. But after yesterday's luck, I want to be safe, not sorry. And then I'm going to just wail on Umbra. This, lady, is what you get for being a jerk bird. So, Umbra counters with the skill that makes her stronger when we interrupt her, but it's okay, because she's never actually going to get an attack off. She's dead. What is my PB? I know it's a 142 something. I wonder if I'm about to PB. I might have PB'd. So, Aurora, defeating the Dark Queen, brings her friends through.
On Easter Sunday. All look quite
Oh man!
The
I might not have
people
PB'd,
cowered
but
on
I am
5
only...
that were nearly undertossed. As the icy deep rose to meet them,
13 seconds away from the world record.
but Aurora
What a shame.
resurrected
That's okay.
with a host of creatures queer.
I'll blame
Lickety split, the
falling
brute
off
split up,
the
and in less than half an hour,
ledge.
Aurora and her friends
on
like the people of
the very
castle
beginning of the game.
They entered
12
into
seconds
leap.
too slow.
The water lapped at their feet. No way out except to drown. Their doom they were sure to meet. But
I don't think it's actually. I actually don't think it's a PB.
Before their eyes, astonished.
But that's okay.
dead.
The only
The
PB
mirror
I can ever
she
have
left them,
is
and they stepped through it instead.
the glory of getting world
From that
record
day
at this
onward in
point.
Austin, only a small island remained.
So thank you everyone.
People safe in
This was
Lemuria,
Child of Light.
their future regained. And Lemuria began to grow again, each of us leading together. Soon it will be your turn, princess, to leave on an adventure.
And here on the last kind of screens,
Now,
we get
my
to
dear,
see our
the
party of
fire is
friends
The night is
looking
dark
happy
and
again.
deep. Close your eyes, let go, and drift off to sleep.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Child of Light. It's got a very nice ending song that I suggest you listen to, but it's not quite as hype as Desert Dream was. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand over the baton back to the lovely RPG chick, who will be doing Final Fantasy 1 randomizer. Oh,